This segment of the CU podcast is brought to you by Into the AM. They have premium, high-quality apparel, including nice graphic tees, basic tees, hoodies, and even boxer briefs. I'm wearing, Ian, the Raging Sea. You got the Grizzly Instincts. You love bears.
Look, it's got a bear on it.
You love that stuff.
Into the AM offers different collections and themes like space, animal, nature, skull, and festival. Shirts are ultra soft, pre-shrunk, tailored fit, and use eco-friendly inks. And Into the AM is running a bundle deal for their graphic tees, which are 3 for $60. And they also have 3 basic tees for a great discount as well.
Click the link in the description on YouTube, or if you're a podcast listener, use code CONTRI, C-O-N-T-R-I, and you'll get 10% off these very comfortable shirts and gear. Go look good and feel good with Into the AM.
Get a shirt with a bear on it. You're going to have to start this off because it's a response to your video, but I'm definitely going to get in there.
We're going to talk about little Earthworm Jim first.
Okay.
And this goes to
we all knew this.
But this goes to a larger point of the deceit and lies surrounding the Intellivision Amico and the promotion and just how they try to hook in consumers and investors with shit that never really existed. And we call this from the get-go. So the Earthworm Jim little flash animation bullshit they came up with, where it's a little run cycle left and then right, and that's it. At the time, we said that's all they probably worked on, was that. Not even a proof of concept. They literally just animated this shit and to put it in the trailer.
I don't even think that's running on anything sort of engine. It's literally just a background with animation or whatever.
It could be running on something. But the point is, like, it's not a game.
Right. And
they didn't have plans to work on the game. They said, oh, we're going to wait until we launch, and then we'll get the money to do that. But the point is that they use that as a focal point. The only mainstream attention they ever got prior to that E3 2021 video, wow, it's almost 2 years, was Earthworm Jim. That got hundreds of thousands of views on their YouTube channel.
Hundreds of thousands?
It got around. It got taken down. It's not there anymore.
That's right. It's not there anymore.
Interplay eventually said, stop with this horse shit.
Yeah.
So they took down most of their references to that. It might have still been in their August reveal, the August 6, 2020 reveal. That was the one that was a day late due to the CNET stuff. And CNET got pissed at them, I think. So anyway, so the point is now it's officially coming out via Time Extension. Time Extension is like the offshoot site from Nintendo Life. And our pal Damian McFerrin, who used to write articles featuring Tommy's Q&As with absolutely zero pushback.
He did a little journalism here.
Yeah, he did. Finally, did
a little journalism.
I applaud you, Damian McFerrin, for doing some fact checking and double checking things. 2-3 years later, but we did it here. So Nintendo Life, now Time Extension, reached out to a member of the original Earthworm Jim team, lead artist Nick Brudi, and this is what they said. A new Earthworm Jim game with the original team almost happened 5 years ago, but a deal with the IP owners couldn't get worked out. I think everyone will be up for some time. Feels like unfinished business, but hard to align everyone. I wouldn't do it without the key players. So then Tommy got the band back together for their little, I guess, powwow beer meetup where they put this in their pitch videos and their trailers. They got notepads. Tommy's like, and
they got together to do some cry walking.
I don't know if it's that cry walking, but
from an episode of home movies.
They literally had nothing and were just brainstorming potential ideas. The problem is that Tommy used that as the impetus to say Earthworm Jim 4 was being worked on, and it wasn't being worked on. So the fob in this article, he says this: I am not involved in Earthworm Jim 4. The Shining team did get together for a reunion that Tommy Tallarico organized. Hey guys, get back together. We'll talk about stuff we worked on 25 years ago. He also used that to start a live stream to the world to talk about the Amico console that he was spearheading, of which Earthworm Jim 4 was going to be one of the titles released on the console. At the reunion, we all did get together privately and talk about ideas for the next Earthworm Jim game. And that was the extent of it from me. And probably the extent of everyone else.
Yeah, for everyone else.
That was it. It was to get people excited. I saw people doing videos, YouTubers saying, hey, Earthworm Jim 4 is coming to the Amico. I saw it. It worked. It was the most mainstream coverage they ever got, was this Earthworm Jim game. It was. You can check the numbers. If you can find the original, I think they took the video down. So he also said, Nick said it was a fun moment where it felt like the old team was back together. I believe some of the original Shining members were interested in making it, though. There you go. Never was gonna get made.
Nope.
Unless this console blew up and sold hundreds of thousands of consoles, it was not going to be made. It was a sham. Absolutely a sham. And I think Interplay, was it last year, the year before, they said, what the hell's going on? Stop using our name.
We don't know exactly what happened there, but that's kind of what we think.
But they probably sent a strongly worded email saying, stop using this game to promote this console and our IP.
Well, it's because, I mean, every partnership he had was formulated on maybe we should do something, and someone said and he took it as
back of napkin writing. Earthworm Jim 4, we're gonna run with it, and we're gonna try to hook.
And they probably let him fucking dick around with it for a little while, like a kid in a sandbox with a new toy, and then they're like, okay, Tommy, obviously nothing's happening here.
They're patting Tommy the head. Tommy, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be fun times. They're just, and then Tommy uses it to bilk investors and YouTubers into thinking that there's something going on with this when there really wasn't. Which segues now into this.
Here we go.
So I put out a Pat the NES Punk video called Intellivision Amico Christmas. The holiday is not the important part. It's themed that way, but there's nothing of importance there. So what I did in that video that Ian said was pretty well edited. Thank you, Ian.
Yep.
In the intro, I lampooned all the bad takes and all the over-the-top criticisms that Ian and I got, but a lot of times only directed at me because they call me Pat the NES Punk because they think it's a character when it's, that's not my name. That's just a character, a fictional character. But they directed all these over-the-top hits at us. And I highlighted some specific individuals who I thought took it too personally because these weren't Ian people that said, hey, I'm excited about this console. I think it's going to be a good idea. Or even just saying, you know what? I think Pat and Ian are wrong, and this is why. People decided to go into a different direction and attack us personally, make fun of sometimes our appearances, make fun of how we speak.
I stutter, guys. Get over it. It happens.
and really say things to try to ding our reputation in the quote-unquote retro game community and in the, I guess, the gaming YouTube community. Really tried to think that they were going to take us down.
And what was interesting, I think the most interesting point of this part of this to me was that that they swung first.
Oh yes,
we had criticisms about it in the Intellivision Amico, and they felt like they had to come out. I mean, talk about these are the people who probably fucking hate simps and fucking you simped for Tommy.
We'll get into that.
You simped for Tommy, but I'm sorry, real quick. We never attacked them. We attacked the Amico, and they attacked us because we attacked the Amico.
And some of you are going to say, guys, you shouldn't punch down. This isn't going after innocent people. This isn't going after people that I'm never going to go after anyone that just said I'm excited for the Amico. I said I felt worst about people that were legitimately excited for a new Intellivision console. I said, because they got taken for the biggest ride, and now the Intellivision name is forever mud going forward. Sure. Those are the people I honestly feel bad for. The folks that hang out at PRGE, at the Intellivision booth, just to say, hey, we love growing up with the Intellivision. That name is forever tarnished now, unfortunately, because of the Amico and Tommy Tallarico and his minions, like these YouTube minions we'll get into. So I did a poll, Ian, just to see, should we talk about these specific people or not? And I featured most of them in this video. 61.7%, 60%. Yes, they deserve it all. 17% said yes, but don't be petty. So that's 69%, 79%. And 21% said they're not worth it, but people in the comments still said it would be fun. So I had a fun time putting together this, and I'll try not to go too below the belt, but hey, they already did. So what can I say? If we swing back a little bit, I'm sorry, but at some point it has to be said. And we don't have that many podcasts left to do this. This is not a victory lap. This is going after specific individuals.
I feel like this is what I would have mostly covered in my victory lap.
Oh, really?
So this is, okay. I mean, honestly, we're just going to be repeating ourselves. We'll do a big end of Amico show whenever they go bankrupt or whatever, but this was mainly what I wanted to focus on. So this is, I'm going to forget to say things, and I'm sure it's going to come back up again in the future, but this is more or less me trying to get everything out.
Okay, but this is targeted at specific individuals that deserve the most. First off, probably the least offensive one, but annoyed me honestly the most, was Game Test Play. Game Test Play did a video mocking us and our coverage. Not just mocked our coverage, made fun of how we spoke, made fun of me saying, said that we should learn
Made fun of me tripping over my words because it happened.
Said we should learn to talk down us like we were fucking children, like we don't know what we're doing, like we haven't been doing a podcast for 10 years. Am I stuttering yet? Game Test Play? It was demeaning. It was ugly. And the worst part about that, this individual advertised on our podcast. The podcasters who can't speak or have good judgment, you chose to advertise on the CU podcast several years ago with your little channel where you just play, I guess, a DJ mix of obscure video game music. And I gave you a good deal. We communicated via email, and you seemed okay at the time. So I don't understand why you would hit back at us. Is it a jealousy thing? Did our ad not do well for you? Either way, it
Are
was
you just an asshole?
Could be that.
I'm going to go with that.
But it was, when I saw that, I was like, is this the same guy?
Assholes make fun of how someone speaks.
I was like, is this the same guy who had the balls? My email records were lost from a certain point when my GoDaddy, the servers transferred. So I couldn't find the email, but I searched and I found the video. And I'm like, this was the same individual that advertised with us. Very interesting. And then they had the best line of that, Ian, where he made the bet, which I put in the video. I will bet you, Pat, that the Amico will sell 1 million units in the first year. And it says, and I've done some research on that, and it's going to be a close call. And what research did you do, Game Test Play? I would love to see the trade papers you read or the market research that Tommy Tallarico pretended to do for you to make that decision.
I'd love for you to do a response video. I mean, look me in the eye and talk about how I talk, you piece of shit. But you won't, because you're a coward and you have magically disappeared.
Yeah.
And you owe Pat $200 because you ran your big fucking mouth.
Well, I guess you could always say, well, it never came out. So in his defense, but it was just a really weird, we're going to go through a theme here where all these people were either directly aligned with Tommy Tallarico or at least were influenced enough to come after us personally.
You can, and also you can say that you don't like, you can say that you like the Amico and come after us, but it was weird how all of these people went immediately to below the belt personal insults.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because they have no love in their life.
Next is Essex Retro Gamer. And Essex Retro Gamer is associated, I think him and good old Smash JT, which we'll get to later on. They know each other, which is also a theme of this. All these people pretty much know each other. Like, for example, Smash JT did a video with Brett Weiss, which we'll get to. They all run with the same circles with Tommy. So it shows you how interconnected this little group was. So Essex Retro Gamer did this extremely condescending video. You said Tommy knows more about business than Pat. He's more successful. Look at net worth, for example. First of all, you don't know my net worth. You don't see, unless I show you my tax returns and ship them over, or you have access to my bank accounts. You have no idea what my net worth is. Second of all, you don't know what Tommy's net worth is, because that is obfuscated by all the shit going on in his life, the fact that he's been sued, the fact that he's had $100,000 taken from him.
These are children. These are children operating on a child's understanding of being rich. Tommy has lots of stuff, therefore Tommy is rich.
And he's successful because of that.
Right.
That's what they're saying. What's interesting about Essex Retro Gamer is that they came at me also in
He's a tool?
Comments. Yes, he's a tool across the pond. He came at me once in the comments saying the same thing. And the reason I blocked him was he brought in about the business shit. I don't care if you say I'm wrong about the Amico, whatever.
Yeah.
He brought up this weird shit about not knowing about anything about business. But Essex Retro Gamer did an interview with Tommy before he started attacking me. It's on his channel.
Sure.
He did an interview. You got starry-eyed Essex Retro Gamer. Oh, Tommy's talking to me. I feel like a big man now. I feel important. And you did his dirty work, and now you look stupid. Now you're immortalized in my video, and you're immortalized on the podcast because of that. Bad judgment. Worry about your own net worth and not mine, asshole. Bringing up my fucking net worth. Next is probably the one that did not throw as many personal attacks, but as many passive-aggressive digs you could possibly imagine without saying our names. You want
Brett Weiss is I'm just going to say Brett Weiss is the king of passive aggressiveness. As the Amico stuff went on and as things happened behind the scenes with the NES guidebook, it was clear that there was a correlation to him suddenly glomming on to the Amico. It was like immediately after we were, skeptical
like in 2018 to 2019, before people really started hitting at us.
Yeah. And what was funny was I remember he did a Playdate video being like, oh, I don't know about this, like after we got excited about it.
Oh, really?
Like
so
trying to flip, that shit, trying to flip the shit on us. We weren't anti-Amico to be jerks. We were anti-Amico because it was a bad fucking idea, and here we are, and it's still a bad fucking idea that hasn't come out.
Not just a bad idea. People are out tons of money investing, and people are not getting their pre-order money back.
Have a critical bone in your body.
So I got to do a little story time quick about why Brett has animosity towards me in general. So Brett was a contributor to the first version of the NES guidebook, and the second. This one. I paid Brett up front for 60 reviews. It's structured. I pay all my writers. Brett, maybe you should. But I pay the writers up front for the work. Especially in the NES book, I had no idea if I would sell.
Brett doesn't pay? That's great.
I have no idea if the book would sell 100, 500, 1,000. I took a risk on the first book. So I paid everyone up front. Brett actually got paid more money than the other reviewers. He wouldn't come down. That's fine. You're allowed to do that. His writing, some of it was repurposed from, I think he used to write on a website and from maybe from his other books. So these are supposed to be reviews. I was clear. These are reviews. This book has reviews in them. These aren't descriptions. The only book where it's a full library of reviews. So the book comes out. We're looking at reviews. Even before that, the question came up between me and then Ian and a couple others looking at some of Brett's writing. We weren't sure he played through all the games he actually quote unquote reviewed. And I didn't have the choice. I was in a pickle at the time to get extra writing in the book. But for example...
At the very least, they could have been a lot better.
But for example, I paid Brett for all 6 Mega Man reviews. Paid him for all 6. Only 2 of them showed up in the book, 5 and 6. I was not comfortable with the quality of writing. And so I had someone else, Ashton, who edited the second book. She rewrote 3. And I took one of the team. I actually wrote Mega Man 4 review. I give it 4 stars. So there were other questionable things in there as well before the book came out, where, again, I paid for the writing, but Magic Johnson's Fast Break, terrible game. Brett gave it 3 stars. I'm looking at this review. I'm like, did he play this game? I played it. I reviewed it. It's my review in the book. It's a 1-star game.
Describing a sports game and giving it a middle 3 stars seems like a pretty goddamn...
That seems like they're like, oh, it's a sports game. Let's give it 3 stars.
Yeah.
Did you play the fucking game? Like, we're not off by a half star, even star. This is like Double Dribble's like a 3-star area game, 3.5 star. Magic Johnson's is not. It is bad. And there were other reviews like that were weird. The Adventures of Rad Gravity come to mind, where he wrote the review and it was just missing things like describing different types of weapons or items you need to progress in the game. Half of that review was mine. I had to go back and play the game, Ian, for a couple hours and rewrite the review and still gave him credit. But these are the issues we constantly saw. So for the third revision, since the second print run had to come out right after the first because it was sold out, Ian rewrote like Gunnack and we had a few others of his written. By the third print run, though, I was like, I don't trust these reviews. We're rewriting all of them. Brett found out. He got a bug up his ass about it. He put out a video where it was wishy-washy, where he thought I took his writing out because of royalties. There was no royalties. You were fully paid. You should have let people know that in your video, Brett. And I took your writing out because it was mediocre and not up to the standards of the other writers in the book, like Ian and myself and Ashton and everyone else that worked on it. That's why, Brett, your writing was taken out. And you made it a thing by going public about it. And I guarantee you, Tommy pushed you. I guarantee you had a conversation with Tommy, your friend, and he pushed you to make that video. Guarantee it.
Moving on. He doesn't deserve this much time. Big Retro Show. This is one I don't know.
Big Retro Show.
He was the guy who said that Tommy was living that fat life, and that's all I know about him.
So Big Retro Show, I confuse it with XX Retro Gaming. Big Retro Show, I think, knows Smash JT.
God, simping for fake rich people is just such a pathetic trait.
Yes. So So anyway, so real quick about Brett, the one last thing I'll say, because he did respond to it. Because someone said, hey, have you seen you in the video? And Brett said, doing great. Apparently I'm an evil moron if I was excited about a retro console that unfortunately never came out. Never called you an evil moron, Brett. I think you're an opportunistic fool that thought you were friends with someone who really used you. That's all. I don't know if that's better or worse, but that's it. Next is Big Retro Show. Big Retro Show said I took his comments out of context, that he was never an Amico shill.
If you're not an Amico shill, why are you so up Tommy's ass about how much money he has?
And why he literally said, I'm jealous of Tommy's money and his lifestyle. You know, the guy that has a Lamborghini kit and fakes having a real Lamborghini in the past. You know, the guy that is being sued for over $100,000 because he's so dumb.
A guy who tried to smuggle $100,000.
Yes.
And you're all still defending this guy.
A guy that just had to auction off all his comic book stuff and all his Spider-Man shit and his game collection stuff because he's doing so great. Big Retro Gamer. Big Retro Show. I don't even know his generic name. Sorry, Big Retro Show. I won't get that wrong again. So he literally doubled down in comments on YouTube about this, that I am jealous about this, that it's all about Tommy's fame, and that's what it is. It's ridiculous.
Who the fuck wants Tommy's fame right now, especially?
I understand we have people that...
Infamy.
People that simp for rich people. Like, I wouldn't do it, but at least on some level, hey, Elon Musk running a car company, rockets, richest guy in the world. Okay, I wouldn't do it, but at least there has some basis in some reality. Okay, Tommy Tallarico.
Tommy!
It's Tommy Tallarico. Come on, Big Retro Show. And then we said we're a couple of nerds.
You can't aim your sights higher than that?
Come on, dude. Come on. And he said like we're both nerds in a basement recording, like we're just this isn't a basement. First of all, I don't know why people think that's a dig. I wish I had a
Why are you even responding to that?
But it's like, I wish I had a basement. I wish I had a basement.
Stay focused on the importance.
I wish I had a basement.
Everyone in San Diego wishes they had a fucking basement. We don't have basements here. It sucks. It's free space.
So that's all when it comes to that. It's just like, dude, get over yourself. And then someone left a comment about that. I'm mad jelly. That's his quote. I'm mad jelly of Tommy. Mad jelly, like it's 2000 over here. It's 99. And then someone left a quote. The same person that approached Ian.
Not a quote, a comment.
A comment. Do you see the comment? Did I upload that for you?
I read it, but I don't know if you left it for me. No, it's
under. Is it under response here? I don't know if I uploaded it. So the person that approached Ian at PRGE last year.
By the way, they approached me at PRGE before the H-Bomber guy video, before your Amico video. We already talked about it. I don't care. He was the one who said Tommy was a great guy and that we needed to make up. And then we talked about that a little on the podcast, and he was like, whatever. He got a little responsive. What did he say, though, most recently?
He basically said that someone's going to find us in a dark alley. Like physical threats.
Yeah, I don't think he was physically threatening, but he was implying that someone is going to hurt us because of who we are.
Yes.
You're a fucking idiot. I mean, all I have to say about you, man, is I really tried to give you the benefit of the doubt, but now after this H-Bomber guy video and all this stuff's come out and you're still white knighting for Tommy? Impressive.
And Essex, they're the same people, kind of, just across the pond. Big Retro Show responded saying, yeah, they won't say anything to anyone's face. Ian literally said it to that guy's face.
The fucking dude who made the comment was making the comment because he got into it with me at Portland, face to face. I have no problem saying anything to someone's face.
Big Retro Show, if you want to discuss Tommy Tallarico's fat life with me in person, I am not hard to find. I think we're in the same state, buddy. This is not an act. Big Retro Show. It's not an act. These people are almost too pathetic to go after because I can't believe people thought, Ian, I had big YouTubers. People like Carl Jobs thought I put these people up to it. They thought they were fake. Those videos. They did not. They thought they were parodies. They did not.
Well, you watch some of this and you can't believe it.
Can't believe it. Now we come to our favorite longtime pal, Rich. Review Tech USA. So Rich, he takes shots at us. He makes gay jokes about us in his response videos to us. I don't usually comment on that because that's all he has. He's not talented. That's all he has to offer. And his response to this was to go on a live stream with his sidekick Jay that I used to know and Ian used to know. He's just a lowlife. But I don't want to play the clip, but to make sex jokes.
Oh, I feel like you should play the clip.
You want me to play the clip?
I feel like you should play the clip. I feel like everyone should see what a bunch of fucking punk-ass bitches these people are.
Okay, do I have this in the folder? Yes, I do. This was one of the highlights. What they played. It's a couple minutes.
It's 2 minutes.
What? How did?
Do you think these two fucked after they filmed the skit?
They did, and they probably said, "Oh, that script was brilliant too."
A massive YouTuber just texted me saying, "Rest in peace, RGT."
What dumb thing did you invest in?
By the way, he just made a joke about someone was in the hospital. RGT went in the hospital with the heart guy, and this fucking lowlife just made a joke about it. I didn't pick it up the first time.
Intellivision. You invested in television?
In Intellivision, Frank, get it right.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, good
It's
job,
a
Rich.
fucking, you don't get the obvious joke.
Rich, it's a fucking joke, you hack. It's a great joke.
By the way, they already asked if you two fucked, but it's gonna get better.
Before I was
Imagine Frank made ASMR videos. God.
Imagine
make your
Frank
fucking-
fucks. Guaranteed it's hard.
born, I got a really cheap one at Best Buy for $200.
Pause it. Let's just look at Frank's background, okay? There's a fish that looks like it got shot. Look closely.
Hysterical.
Look at it. It looks like a fish that got shot or stabbed. There's a bloody handprint.
Take 2 fucking steps back for a minute and realize you're insulting children's art.
That's his daughter's handprint.
You have nothing going on in your fucking life. Leave it paused. I'm angry. And the fucked up thing about you, Hoofed and Rich, and I didn't ever say this to you, I know your fragile souls. I've been in DMs with you two. I know how you two feel inside and in real life, and you're fucking worthless. You know why? Because you won't do anything to fix yourself or fix your life and make yourselves happy. All this fucking whining and boo-hoo-hoo in my DMs and me trying to help you guys 4 or 5 years ago, you're pieces of shit. You've always been shit because you don't want to improve. You want nothing better for yourself. You wake up in the morning and you're angry, right? You're angry because no one likes you. So your answer is to just keep doubling down on being an awful, miserable person because that's easier than trying to do anything for yourselves. Guys, I'm not saying this to be mean. I mean this. You really need to think about what you're fucking doing before you end up alone for the rest of your lives with no one to care for you, no one to help you, and no one to fucking love you when you get old. That's the route you're on. And right now, it's led you to making fun of children's art and talking about, well, we're going to get to it, blood being everywhere because of Pat fucking someone in the ass. A person you don't know. You don't know if this is a friend or family. You don't know what this is. You're bringing someone else into it because you have nothing to fucking say. You have nothing important to say. You have no response to us calling you out for being shitty fucking humans. So this is what you devolve into. You've got nothing else. This is your life. Good job, guys. Congrats.
And behind his head, there's a lizard for some reason. Anyways. I don't know.
Maybe that handprint's from Pat when he was pounding him in the ass.
Yeah, it's a fucking.
He was just like hand jobs all around.
Yeah, it's a.
That's good,
sentiment.
Rich. That's really.
Is that all you can say? Is hand jobs, blow jobs, and butt fucking, Rich? Is that all you got?
Yes.
Are you lonely, Rich? Are you sad? Do you cry a lot at night?
Well, you know what's interesting about that stream they did?
Huh.
They didn't watch all of it. They didn't watch the lampooning I did when Rich interviewed Tommy. I wonder why, Rich, you didn't play that back. I wonder why.
Because it hurt him in his deep, sensitive fucking feelings.
Well, no, because there's no response to that.
Right.
The sound clips I play on here that we made fun of for so long, I know every time we play one of these clips, Rich just like, ah, because he realized he was used by Tommy to peddle his bullshit to Rich's audience. Not once, not twice, I think maybe 3 times. So the timeline of that was that Ian went after Rich, and I did too, for that interview that happened. That was March of 2020.
People know the details.
A month later, he did a follow-up that was worse because he allowed Tommy to say stuff like,
they're racists. They're literally gaming racists.
And say stuff like,
if you're into games with blood and violence and sexual content and kids in sexual compromising positions and rape on the Nintendo, if that's what you want, then buy a Switch.
So when you do things like that, Rich, and you don't push back, you make yourself look like an asshole, and that you don't have respect not only for your audience, but for yourself, because you have to do a decent job. And you can't let someone use you for an infomercial, which is what happened. That's what happened. And it's just sad. And so he will never be able to address those things. So he makes jokes about gay sex, and he goes after people's friends and things like that.
You're a fucking loser. Like, there's no other better way to describe it. You two are fucking losers.
And no, Jay, I didn't stop talking to you because, or Ian didn't stop talking because I told him to. I think he has his own
I didn't fucking block you. You blocked me. Some shit went south, and I had chatted back and forth with you, and one day I was blocked. So I don't know, man.
All right. And last but not least,
Worthless.
Is Smash JT, Jeff Tarzia. Jeff always had a hard on for us. He's done about 8 to 10 videos about us. CU Fraudcast. Pat the NES Punk is a fraud. I think he took that one down. And Jeff is a person that always was clout chasing for attention. One of those people that think, I'll attack someone, we'll make up, and then we'll work together.
This is what I was talking about earlier when I said these people live in a fantasy land.
Yeah.
They're ambulance chasers. And Jeff especially. You sniff out the fucking drama wherever you can find it in a dump. You rush after it. You put out a video without thinking. You say a bunch of bullshit. That person gets mad. I've seen this happen many times. You two make videos about each other. That brings your views up. Then you guys shake hands, and there you go.
Fair play, right?
Right. That's how you think it is. Except Jeff. Because I know you really are talking lately about wanting an apology. It's barely been a year since you made fun of me for being sick and said I was a scam artist. Forgive me for being sick with no money in America. That never happens, right? And I didn't put out that GoFundMe on my own. I did it because people kept asking. You think you're going to get you're going to get forgiveness? That you're going to apologize for that?
Well, first of all, he never really apologized.
No, he never apologized for that. He says he's tried to apologize for you. But no. Jeff, there's no coming back from that. That's not a thing that people just fucking sweep under the rug. There are real repercussions for the fucking bullshit you say.
Yeah.
And again, like I said about Rich and Hooft, you're going to find yourself very fucking alone, Jeff. Because you're burning all your fucking bridges.
So
there is no rebuilding. No. When you're a piece of shit like you are.
This stank will follow Jeff to the ends of the earth, at least on YouTube. There's no rehab from this. So his response to my Amico video was filled with lies, was filled with like, oh, it was entertaining, but I saw through Tommy's bullshit. No, you didn't, Jeff. You absolutely didn't. So either you're lying or you're stupid. That's one or the other when it comes to this. So, for example, he said in his video he thought Tommy and him could have a mutually beneficial relationship and would help his channel. This is a person
mutually beneficial. No, it would have been one-way beneficial.
He said Amico gave my channel attention, and that's one of the reasons I ran with it. You ran with something that you originally, Jeff, on your channel said was a bad idea. His first video echoed ours.
Yeah, I know.
We had similar thoughts, Jeff. We both thought this was a bad idea. But what happened?
He realized he could turn it into us versus them.
That was part of it. But you thought Tommy and you could be like partners on the path to fame. How misguided is that? The Tommy Tallarico just the gaze of Tommy's face just transforms people into mush, and I can't think anymore. So you lied in your video saying you were not on board with crowdfunding, but crowdfunding was the very first thing they did, Jeff, in early 2020 with the Founders Editions. That was crowdfunding. They got people's money for pre-orders. That was the very fucking first thing that happened, Jeff. The very first thing. So that's a lie. You left a comment on the last crowdfunding attempt, Start Engine. That's gone. But you left a comment, Jeff, after you knew this was scammy as fuck, after you knew this was turning south. You left a comment saying, "I believe in the team." I'm paraphrasing. This was your Republic quote, which was probably similar. "I invested because I believe in the team at Intellivision. I have personally met with the creators and played this console hands-on. I can confirm there is a potential, very bright future for this device. Great couch co-op games with a truly unique controller makes for a very special gaming experience." So I don't know if that was the exact quote on Start Engine, but I remember seeing you put down a comment there. And that was after we had covered the SEC bullshit, after we knew this company was dead in the water, and you were still doing Tommy Tallarico's bidding as an accomplice to a scam at that point. You knew it was going down, and so your comment could have contributed to someone putting in more money, and thank God Start Engine shut down that campaign. But that's the type of person you are. You will triple and quadruple down and not admit that you are a sorry-ass human being.
It's only until there's clearly no return that you suddenly flip and be like, well, I knew.
There was never an apology. What you said in your videos that I know about, first of all, I have you blocked on Twitter. You said in your you said in your Twitter comment, what the hell did he fucking say in this? That was ridiculous. He said, "Pat, you have me blocked. I've made many ignored attempts to reach you. I never got an email. I don't have you blocked on Facebook. I'm not blocked. Discord, you can try to hit me up. I don't know what the fuck you're talking. Send me a fucking snail mail letter. I don't know what you're talking about, Jeff."
Meanwhile, I rarely block people. I do have all these people blocked at this point because they don't need to know what I'm up to.
But then he lies and says, "I made videos apologizing for how I handled the Intellivision Amico." I don't give a shit, Jeff, how you handled the Amico. I care about shit you said about me and Ian. An apology is, I apologize. I'm talking like you're four. I apologize, Pat and Ian, for saying these things about you, that you were a fraud, that you faked your medical issues.
So desperate for fucking attention, you really went after someone's medical issues.
But that's an apology, Jeff. An apology isn't Pat and Ian were right about the Amico. That's not an apology. That's just saying we were right about a situation. That's stating facts. You are a child, Jeff. You have to be accountable at some point for your behavior. So, yeah, he wants to make amends. And so this is probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, because he put out another tweet when he was nearby with his wife saying, "Hey, Pat, let's meet up for a fucking beer." You dragged your wife into this. You took a selfie with her and tweeted it. It's despicable because, first of all, you don't know if I'm a psychopath or if I'm going to confront you with your wife there. Second of all, I doubt you told your wife when you were taking that selfie, "Hey, I'm going to tweet at a guy that has a very good reason to be upset at me for how he's talked about him and his friend."
Yeah, way to use her as a shield, you fucking coward.
It's just ridiculous. So it's
These people are insane.
Do you not know how social interaction works and how when you say things?
No, they clearly don't. They think it's all TV.
It's all a game.
It's all a game.
It's not a game, Jeff. You don't come back from this. There's no happy ending. You don't get to write your own little happy ending when it comes to this. You were an accomplice to a scam with Tommy Tallarico, and you thought you'd get rich on it. You lost money. I don't even blame you for throwing in $10,000. You think you're gonna make your money back? That's fine. But you doubled, tripled down. You did his bidding. You did multiple attack videos on us, and I actually pity you in a way, because I can't picture a reasonable adult acting that way.
I don't. They deserve all the loneliness and misery that's coming to them at this point. They don't want to fix themselves. They don't want, like I said, they don't want to make themselves better. They don't want to be happy people. They'd rather just be miserable and talk about fucking drama all day because it makes them feel better about their lonely, meaningless existence.
You literally said you made multiple videos apologizing to Pat and Ian. You did not. You never said, "I'm sorry." And you know what? You know what someone has said about that too? It's not about making a personal, making a video, because we might even find out about it. How about you personally reach out? When Gamester81...
Yeah, making a video that you're going to put ads on, and monetize for drama and clicks. Eat shit.
When Gamester81 made his video attacking me after the Coleco Chameleon thing blew up, he at least was a man and personally called me and reached out and spoke to me, and we hashed it out. The video was a terrible idea, but at least he actually apologized. That's what an apology is, Jeff.
That's what people do when they realize they made mistakes.
This isn't like, I'm going to see you, we're going to have a laugh about it. Ian's going to see you and have a laugh about it. That's not how these things work with real adults.
But again, I don't think he's actually sorry, and I don't think he really considers it a mistake. This is part of the MO. This is part of the fucking drama YouTuber circuit. They try to pull you in.
Absolutely. And so maybe that's where we end it. This is who these people are. And it's a shame that you let Tommy Tallarico take advantage of you. It's a shame that a lot of times you did his bidding.
It's just a shame that you all had to go below the belt and get fucking ridiculous because you couldn't handle an opinion about a fucking video game console.
Yeah. That's all.
I didn't even call anyone a sewer. All right, let's move on.